Hello, I'm going to show you some of the flexibility, power, and ease of use of the Kepler and Sirius programs. I'm going to demonstrate how to combine different charts in BiWheels. For example, suppose you want your normal, typical, tropical natal chart in the center and the sidereal on the outer ring of a BiWheel. Or maybe you want your natal chart in the middle and a heliocentric on the outer ring. Maybe you're looking at the chart of a husband and wife, you're looking at their birth charts, their progress charts, and you would like to see a biwheel of the husband's natal chart in the center ring and the wife's progress chart around the outer ring, or vice versa, the wife's natal chart in the middle and the husband's progress chart around the outside. So occasionally we get these ideas where we want to combine charts together in ways that's not the typical thing that we often do, which is the husband natal and the wife's natal, or a natal progressed in transit. But we have other kinds of wheels we want to combine together, or you want to make a composite chart of two charts. And also combining charts together in different ways. Suppose, for example, you do a composite chart of the husband and wife, and you like this composite chart, and then you get this idea to look at a harmonic chart of the composite chart, or you want to do a solar return to the composite chart. Can you do these unusual kinds of things? Yes, and it's very easy. And I'll show you how to do this. And by the way, in this video, I'm just focusing on these areas of combining different kinds of charts together in BiWheels and composites, or doing like returns to composites, different kinds of combinations of charts. We have other tutorial videos on features like the database of famous people, selecting any asteroid, not a limited number of asteroids in the Series 2.0, the customizing wheels with the page designer, etc., customizing interpretations. We have all kinds of other videos on other flexibility and other features. But here I'm just going to focus on this. Okay. I have 9 different scenarios, 9 different things that people have sometimes asked if they could do. Let's show the most typical one first, and then we'll do the more unusual things. Of course, these unusual things are not unusual for some astrologers. They may be things they want to do all the time. But let's start with the most typical thing, or one of the most typical things, a natal progressed transit triwheel, something that a lot of astrologers do. So I'm in the Series 2.0 software. I have just one chart in here, Christina Aguilera, her birth chart. I don't have any other entries. And one way to do the natal progressed transit is to click on the multi-wheels, and you could do the animated adjust version of it, is one way to do it. I have other videos that describe this in more detail, but in this video I'm going to show you some additional things about combining different kinds of charts. And it tells me it's created a progress chart, because I'm asking for a progress chart. And there it is. There's our triwheel with her natal chart, inner ring, Christina Aguilera natal, middle ring, Christina Aguilera progressed for February 9, 2015, and transits also for February 9, 2015. And I can adjust it. I could select 1 year. Let's see, where's her progressed sun? 1 Aquarius 41. So if I go a year ahead, it should move about a degree to 2 Aquarius 41. I'll click forward, and there it is, 2 Aquarius 42. Sun varies in speed from about 57 minutes to 1 degree 1 minute. Anyway, there it is, and so on. And the transits have adjusted. And you can change the style of the wheel right here, and so on. You can also change the progression around the outer ring. If I wanted to put the solar arc there instead, I can, well, it's in the middle ring, the progress chart. I can just change it dynamically. Okay, so I talk more about this in detail in other videos, but that's the typical thing. I'm just going to exit out of this. And now I'm going to show you some of the more unusual things where you're combining different kinds of charts together. And now, by the way, I've got 2 entries. I've got Christina Aguilera's natal chart, and on my other calculated charts, I can click on her progressed. There's her progress chart, and I can click here to get back to her natal. I'm mentioning this because I'm going to add lots more different kinds of charts that we're going to compare to each other and make composites and all kinds of different combinations. All right, so here's the idea. Now we're going to look at BiWheels and composites and all kinds of crazy combinations of things. And I want to give you the concept for how it's done. There's basically two steps. One is you have to have the chart you want. So let's see here. Under number 2, we're going to do one person's natal and another person's progressed. And we're going to do a biwheel. In order to do that, first make the natal chart for the person and make the progressed chart for the other person. So before you can combine them together to make a biwheel, create the charts. I mean, that's kind of obvious maybe in retrospect. There are some exceptions to the rule, such as in the animated triwheel I just showed you. We didn't have to make the progressed chart and transit chart, it just made it automatically. But when you're doing these combinations of different kinds of things, very often you have to, and it's always an option, to just make the wheels you want, then make a biwheel of them. So very simple. So let's do, I've got Christina Aguilera's progressed chart. Let's put her progressed chart on the outside of a ring. Let's take another popular singer, say Katy Perry, if she's in the database. Let's see if Katy Perry's data is available. If she's not in the database, I may be too lazy to go hunting around to find it, and it's unlikely I'll find it anyway if it's not in the database. So we'll see if she's in the database, and if she is, let's put Katy Perry in the inner ring and Christina Aguilera's progressed chart in the outer ring. So this is the case that I described at the outset of this video about one person's natal and another person's progressed. How do you do it? You tell me. I just told you how to do it. We need to have their charts. So I've got Christina Aguilera's progressed. I need Katy Perry's natal. So I'll go to the data entry and get her natal chart. I'll go New, add a new natal chart, and I'll just type Perry and see if she's in here. And she is, Katy Perry. And it tells me this is her birth data, it's from a biography. How do I know there's no typos in this? Do I really trust this? Well, this came from the online Astro Data Bank, and there's a link to it. And I'll click on it. I always do this for famous people, if there was a link, so I can compare to see if there have been any recent changes or discrepancies or differences of opinion about the birth data. And online Astro Data Bank gives 28 Libra 35. I can also scroll down and read about the source notes. It was taken from a biography. So 28 Libra 35. Let's go ahead and hit done. And we get 28 Libra 35. So just by looking at the ascendant, I instantly know that the charts agree with each other. I mean, I could check the moon or something, but they'll also be the same. So the data must be identical. So so I've got Katy Perry. Now, I want Katy Perry in the inner ring and Christina Aguilera's progressed chart in the outer ring. So all I do is just select a biwheel for while I'm looking at either chart, and then I select a biwheel to the other chart. So I'm on her Katy Perry's natal. In other words, that's my displayed chart. Katy Perry natal, that's the one I have, and then I'll request a biwheel to one of my other entries, one of my other calculated charts. And I do have Christina's progressed chart as one of the calculated charts. So I just need to have the charts as one of the charts I want needs to be the display chart, and the other one needs to be one of the calculated charts. As long as I'm looking at one of them and the other one is here, I can select what I want. It's that simple. So I've got the one I want to compare to as a calculated chart, and let's do it. Now, what did I say I wanted to do here? Let me go back to my notes. I want a biwheel, right? I just said that. I want a biwheel. So I'll select biwheel right here. Select biwheel, and let's put Katy Perry natal in the inner, chart in the outer is Christina Aguilera progressed. Very good. Click OK. Now I've got some different wheel styles. I like this wheel style personally. This is a biwheel where you have each ring has its own cusps instead of going all the way through. Let's see, that would be like, say, this style is a common style. But I like this one. for a lot of cases. Anyway, there's different wheel styles and stuff. That's not our main point here. Our main point is just to show you that we can create it. So I'll click, and by the way, I can go to Customize and change it around, add different asteroids or whatever I might want to do. And there it is. Now I can look at what it says if I want, just to confirm it. Inner ring, Katy Perry, natal chart. So there's Katy Perry in the inner ring with that 28 Libra, 35 ascendant, etc. And here's Christina Aguilera's progress chart for February 9, 2015 in the outer ring. Cool. So it's that simple. And as I mentioned, you can do it from either chart. I could be on Christina Aguilera's chart and select it from there. You just have whatever chart you want in a BiWheel or composite or tri-wheel and have the other ones in the calculated charts and then select what you want. That's all there is to it. Okay, so you've got the idea. I'll show you a few other similar situations. Let's do a composite. Instead of doing a BiWheel of these two charts, let's do a composite of these two charts. How would I do that? Same exact way. Instead of select BiWheel, select composite. So I'm on, the current chart is Katy Perry natal. Even though I'm looking at a BiWheel, the current chart, I can go back to her natal chart. All the things you're selecting are listed here for this person. So I'm on Katy Perry's natal chart, regardless of what report I'm looking at. This is the current chart, Katy Perry natal. And let's do a composite instead of a BiWheel with Christina Aguilera. Same exact thing, except I select composite. Go here to make a composite chart. I want a normal, typical composite of two charts. And I just do the same thing. Who do I want a composite with? Christina Aguilera's progress chart. So one of the nice things about the Kepler and the Sirius programs is any chart is treated equally. They're both listed as calculated charts that I can compare to. And then I have choice of composite charts and that I can make. But let's just accept this composite called Ascendant Midpoint method. I'll click OK, and there it is. So it's done. One thing I really like here is that the description is going to be complete. This is very, very helpful. It doesn't just say composite chart, and then if you come back to this later and you're clicking around and you come back and you wonder, like suppose I look at Katy Perry's natal, and then I say, oh, let me go back to the composite with the other, and then you can't remember what this is a composite of. Makes it very clear. It's a composite using that ascendant midpoint method. Chart 1 is Katy Perry natal. Chart 2 is Christina Aguilera secondary progression using the NAVOD method for progressing houses on February 9th at 12 a.m. GMT at the beginning of the day, Greenwich Mean Time. There it is. Very nicely explained what I've selected. Okay, so we're just seeing that you can combine any two charts in a BiWheel, any two charts in a composite. Just have the charts calculated, and from one of those charts, select the composite or the BiWheel to the other chart. Very simple. And just one more example, and then I'll give 3 examples of a different kind of scenario. One more example of combining two different people. Let's do a composite of two progress charts. At this point, this should be very obvious what to do. Let's do a composite of Christina's progressed and Katy Perry's progressed. Okay? I want a composite chart. Did I say composite chart? I'm thinking so many things. Yes, a composite chart. I want a composite chart of Christina's progressed and Katy Perry's progressed. How do I do it? Well, first I need to have the charts. I have Christina's progressed. I don't have Katy Perry's progressed, so I need to make that chart. So I'll go to Katy Perry natal and select the progressed chart. Defaults to secondary progressed for today's date. Now I've got it. So I've got my charts. So I just select composite. While I'm viewing one of them, I select a composite to the other. So composite of two charts. And when you're selecting something like a composite or a return and it's unusual, it's not to the natal, you'll get this warning just to let you know that you're doing something unusual. And we'll see this pop up as we do these unusual things. Yeah, I'm doing something unusual. I'm going to take a composite to this progress chart. And then, it asks me which chart I want to make the composite with. And I want to do progressed. Katie's progressed to Christina's progressed. So I just select it. I'll leave the default method. And I've got it. And again, if I want to read this, it will explain it very clearly. Composite, using the ascendant midpoint method, chart 1 is Katy Perry, secondary progression for February 9, 2015. Christina Aguilera, secondary progression for February 9, 2015. Completely and succinctly described what this chart is very clearly. I love this ability to have this described clearly right on the chart wheel. Okay, so you know how to do it. It's that simple. I'm just going to show you a few more scenarios, and these next three scenarios are a little different because it's the same person, and this will bring up a question, and when I tell you the answer to the question, it will seem obvious, but you may not think of it off the top of your head. These three involve the same person. Let's do a natal and a heliocentric natal, a biwheel. Let's just do it for Christina Aguilera. How am I going to get this chart in the middle of a biwheel and the heliocentric in the outer ring? Well, it's the same idea I told you before. I need to have both charts. So I need to have Christina Aguilera natal, and I need to have Christina Aguilera helio. How am I going to get two Christina Aguileras where one is natal and one is helio? It might sound strange, like how can I get two of her? Actually, it's very simple. When I tell you, it'll be obvious. Just bring in her chart again. Just call her up from the database again. And you can have multiple Christina Aguileras where one is a natal and one is a helio, and one is sidereal. And in fact, according to my plan here, I'm going to have a Christina Aguilera helio, a Christina Aguilera sidereal, and a Christina Aguilera Draconic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New and add a new chart, and I'm going to bring her in 3 more times. I'm going to read her in 3 more times. 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. Aguilera. And click OK. By the way, I use those hotkeys, Alt-G, Alt-O. It's faster than using the mouse, if you're wondering how I do that so quickly. Anyway, now I've got her in here 3 more times. Entry 9 is my current one, and I've got her Christina Aguilera natal number 1. That's the normal one. And now I've got 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to make 7. Click on 7. I'll make this the helio. So I'll go to Settings, Coordinate System, Heliocentric. And it's got some options for removing house cusps, which in helio charts we often do, and removing house positions and so on. So I click OK, and now I've got her heliocentric wheel. And let's make number 8. I think I said I wanted to make a sidereal. I make this one sidereal, so I'll go to Zodiac and change it to sidereal. And let's make number 9 a draconic chart. So I just click on this chart, Settings, Coordinate System, and down here I can select all these different kinds of charts, local space, and etc., Antisha charts and contra Antisha. And I have 2 kinds of draconic, a mean node and a true node, depending on which moon's node you want to make it from. I'll use the true node kind. And again, some questions about if I want to make some adjustments. I'll just click OK to accept the normal, typical way it's done. And there we go. I've got her in here 3 times. And now I'll just do my biwheels. Let's do the... Actually, I've got her in here 4 times. I got Christina Aguilera number 1 is my usual one, my tropical. I'm on number 7, which is the helio. 8 is the sidereal. Remember we selected the sidereal. And 9, it tells us, is a draconic. Okay, so I just do my biwheels. So before I do this, let me summarize. If you want the same person in the inner and outer ring, where one is natal and one is helio, just read the chart in again for it. So this is all the same thing. I'm only showing 3 examples because people have asked me, or asked our customer support, gee, I want to do a geo and a helio, or a tropical and a sidereal, or a regular natal and a draconic in a biwheel. So I'm just showing these, even though I really need to only show one. It's all the same idea. All right, so what did I say I want to do here? Biwheels. Okay, so I'll select, I'm on the helio, and I will select a biwheel with her natal in the middle, the helio in the outer. Click OK, and I've got it. In the inner ring, Christina Aguilera natal. In the outer ring, Christina Aguilera helio. And the same thing. You got the idea. I go to number 8. You'll see it says Sidereal. And select a biwheel with this chart. And again, put number 1, natal, the first entry there, and the current entry is here. Click OK, and now I've got the biwheel. Natal chart, tropical Placidus in the inner ring, outer ring, sidereal Placidus. This is all trivial, but I'll just do the last one. I'm looking at the draconic true node. I want to make a biwheel with this chart in the outer ring and the normal natal in the inner ring. Just select a biwheel because I've got the normal natal as one of my calculated charts. As long as the chart I want to make the biwheel with, or the composite, or whatever I want to do, has been calculated, I can select it. That's all there is to it. What did I say I want to do? Biwheel, and we'll put the natal in the middle, and my current entry, which is the draconic in the outer ring. And now I've got it. I've got Christina Aguilera natal in the middle, in the inner ring, I mean, and Christina Aguilera draconic, true node style, is the outer ring. That's simple. So just have the charts calculated and select your biwheel. All right. And if you wanted to do like 2 wheels, which is 2 wheels next to each other instead of a biwheel, or you want to do a composite, obviously the procedure is the same. You just select what you want. Select composite instead of biwheel, or 2 wheels, or whatever you want, and just select them. That's it. I've got 2 more scenarios. One I'm going to show you because it's something I happen to actually use on a regular basis, and the last one is to show you a really complicated combination of things that it can be done. This is something that I do just for curiosity. Let's talk about some like real astrology. Many of you know I use a lot of harmonic astrology. I call it vibrational astrology. And, you know, we all have different things that we like to do. You may have some peculiar things that you do if you're, an intermediate or advanced or professional astrologer. So what I like to do is I like to take harmonic charts of composite charts. And I do this whenever I do a relationship, any close relationship, family members or husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing. I do the 9th harmonic of the composite chart. It may sound weird, but we all have our different ideas, and I do it. Now, I'll just show you. This is a realistic example. Let's say I'll go back to Christina Aguilera's natal chart, and I want a 9th harmonic of the composite chart of Christina Aguilera and Katy Perry. How do we do it? Well, what you do is, let me repeat that first. I want the 9th harmonic of the composite chart. So what do? Select the composite chart, and then take the 9th harmonic of it. It's that simple. You just do it in the order that you said you wanted it. You want a 9th harmonic of the composite, so get the composite, and then take the 9th harmonic of it. It's that easy. And you can string these together as many things as you want. And my last one is going to be show you that you can string a lot of things together. By string together, I mean you can take something of something of something. So here we're going to take a 9th harmonic of a composite. Okay, so I've got Christina Aguilera, and I also have Katy Perry as one of my calculated charts or natal. Let's select the composite. Very simple. Select the composite. I'm on Christina Aguilera natal, and I select a composite to Katy Perry natal. Okay. And I have it. And it tells me I've got a composite, chart 1, Christina Aguilera natal, chart 2, Katy Perry natal, Katy Perry natal, blah, getting tongue twisted here. So I've got the composite of those two charts, and it makes it clear I've got it. Now, I want, and this may sound strange, but different astrologers have different ideas. I want the 9th harmonic chart of the composite. How am I going to get it? Just select it. There's no magic to it. Just select it. You can do anything to any chart. Just go to harmonic chart and select. It tells me I'm that message again because I'm not doing this to a natal. And I type 9 for my harmonic chart. And again, I love that it explains this clearly. It's a 9th harmonic composite. So if I come back to this wheel and I don't remember what it was, it makes it very clear. It's a 9th harmonic composite. Chart 1 is Christina Aguilera natal. Chart 2 is Katy Perry natal. Okay. And last example is we got like 3 levels this time, just to show you how wild this can get. You're unlikely to ever need this, but it can come up for some people doing research or using unusual or complex methods. Let's take a composite chart. Let's take the composite chart of Christina Aguilera and Katy Perry. They're 2 natals, just their normal composite chart. And let's do a solar return to the composite. Can you do that? Sure. The composite chart has a sun position, and we can get a solar return to that sun. How do we do it? Just select it. You just create the composite, do the solar return, and then we'll do a harmonic chart of that solar return, just to show that it's possible. So we're going to do the 9th harmonic of the solar return to the composite chart. It sounds very complicated, but it's simple. Now we've already selected the composite, so I don't need to do that again, and I can click on it and read it to make sure it's what I want. Composite, Christina natal, Katy natal. Okay, that's my composite chart. I want a solar return. I want the 9th harmonic chart of the solar return. How do I do it? Just select it. No magic. Just select it. You can select almost anything to anything. I'll select a return, a solar return. It tells me again that I'm not doing this to a natal chart. Let's do it for this year. Now, where is their composite sun? It's 29 Scorpio 37. So it should find the solar return when the sun is at 29 Scorpio 37. Let's see if Sirius is smart. The Sirius software is smart enough to do it. 29 Scorpio 37. I click OK, and the sun is 29 Scorpio 37. And if I show a listing to greater accuracy, it'll be exactly where it needs to be. 29 Scorpio 37. There it is. And again, I love this. Read this description. It's fantastic. Solar return for this date, November 22nd, 2015. It did it for Staten Island, New York, of the composite of Christina Aguilera and Katy Perry. So there it is. There's that solar return. And I could relocate it, by the way. If I wanted to relocate this to another location, just relocate it if I don't want it for that location. So that's a good example of this ability to do anything to anything, where you can take any chart and then relocate it. Now, if you experiment, you may come into some strange combination of things that maybe nobody's ever done and we didn't test. Over many years, we've had this kind of features for a long time. We've found more and more variations and made sure that they work properly. But let's try now the 9th harmonic of this. I just select 9th harmonic. Go to harmonic chart. Tells me, again, that warning that I'm not doing it to a natal chart. Click on 9. And let's see, here's my 9th harmonic, and does it explain it correctly? 9th harmonic solar return on this date of a composite using the ascendant midpoint method, and the composite is made of from Christina Aguilera natal and Katy Perry natal. I'm laughing because it's a long story, and that whole long story is succinctly described right here. the whole story. I've done a ninth harmonic of a return of a composite. And these are the charts, so it's completely clear what it is we've selected. And you have it, and it calculated. So it's really, really wonderful that every chart is treated, you might say, equally. You just make sure they're calculated, and you can do like anything to anything, create BiWheels and TriWheels and composites and returns to composites, etc. Very, very flexible and lots of fun. So that's it. I wanted to show you that I have a little addendum here, which is, I want to show you something. A little addendum. Some of the wheel styles, we didn't leave enough room for the long description when we designed the wheel style, and you can customize that. As we add more features, we find that we probably the next version of Sirius and Kepler will expand it out on some of the wheel styles. But I'll show you what I mean. If I right-click and I go to this wheel style, notice the description doesn't include the full description because we only left 2 lines. We didn't leave enough room for it. And if you like this wheel style but you wanted more room, you can go into the page designer, and we'll probably change the defaults in the future so that there is enough room. And I can just put my cursor here on whatever it is I want to change, and then it tells me in yellow and red. I can right click, and now I'm in this page designer. I recently added a feature. Let me move this to the left so we can see what's going to happen. Move it to the left or the right? No, I'll just move it down here. I'm only capturing a small area of my screen. So I added these new buttons to make this a little easier. I'll move these items down. Watch this. Move items down. Boink, 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 boink. Moves all these guys down to make more room for the description. Let's do it again. Looks like it's moving kind of slowly. Let me change this to 300 pixels. Move them down. And now here's the chart type here. And I can make this chart type take up more room. I'm moving the bottom down. See what I'm doing? Expanding the area for the description, moving this down, and then a maximum number of lines for the description. And now it fit it all here. I could move this down. Let's just move it down another. That's okay. You get the idea. I'll move this down more, and you've got the idea. I can move the left edge in, change this to 4,500. Let's change it to 3,500. And what's happening here is, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Duh. I'm going left instead of right. Let's change this to 7,500. And you get the idea. I've fitting this in this area. So you can control everything in the chart, exactly how much room they take. Actually, what I'm going to do here is change this to 5, change this to 65. So now I fit it all in there. I've got the full description of everything in this wheel by adjusting it. Now, this is unlikely to ever be an issue for anybody because hardly anybody selects these long descriptions. Looks like I could have spread this out a little bit more so it's not so tight if you're really fussy about these things. Area of report, bottom, move it down a little bit. Let's see, bottom, see that? It just boink, spread it out. It's really amazing. You have this total control over everything. And click OK, and click OK, and click OK. So anyway, it's a very technical point, but on some of the wheel styles, if you don't see the full description and you wanted it, we'll probably change these default settings to leave more room. We've never noticed, it's never been an issue because almost nobody ever does the ninth harmonic of a solar return of a composite and needs this long description. But you know, if you do these kind of things and you like a certain wheel, these can be customized to get anything you want. So you have this fantastic complete flexibility. And as we add one feature, total flexibility for doing anything to any series of charts, then it raises the issue you need to have room to explain that on your chart wheel. And we have the customizing ability to make that possible. Okay, bottom line. Gotten a little technical into some of the advanced customizing features of wheels. But the bottom line is, getting back to our PowerPoint, that you can do just about anything you want in combining charts together to make bi-wheels, tri-wheels, quad wheels, make composites, do returns and harmonics and whatever you want to composite charts, etc. in any combination. Just make sure you've calculated them, that they appear in your calculated charts, and then select it. That's all there is to it. So it's a very, very simple idea. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with some of the advanced customizing at the end of a fairly long lecture here on the main theme, which is just the fact that you can really easily just calculate the charts and then select your bi-wheel or your composite or whatever you want to do, and do things like harmonic charts of composite charts. That's something that any program should be able to do and do easily, because once you get into advanced astrology, if you're not there already, these are things that come up that you want to do. You'll want to look at the harmonic chart of a composite. Why would you want to look at it? What if you don't use it? Would you want to look at it? You probably should, to learn, to experiment. So, I look at all kinds of things that I don't use because I'm not going to learn and grow in my knowledge of astrology if I don't experiment and play and use ideas from different astrologers and see how it looks. So you have this totally open program to allow you to explore all these kinds of things, even beyond the small subset of ideas that you use. We all use a small subset of ideas. But this gives you the flexibility to explore and grow. And for some of us, we'll end up using some of these combinations of things. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. God bless. Namaste.